Listen up. If you've been following the news, you know the VA is planning some of the biggest changes to the rating schedule we've seen in years. These changes are slated for 2027, and they aren't exactly veteran friendly when it comes to mental health, tinnitus, and sleep apnea. You've worked too hard, and you've given too much of your health to the service of this country to let these benefits slip through your fingers because of a paperwork change. Today, I'm giving you the 2027 VA Rating Shield. This is a 5 step action plan designed to lock in your current benefits before the rules change. I'm going to go slow. I'm going to be thorough. If you need to pause this video and take notes, do it. This is your future we're talking about. Let's get into step 1. Step 1, securing your grandfather status. The word grandfather is going to be your best friend over the next year. In the legal world, being grandfathered means that even if the rules change for everyone else tomorrow, you get to keep the rules that were in place when you started. The VA is changing how they evaluate symptoms. For many of you, the new rules will make it harder to get a high rating. But, and this is a big but, if you have a claim pending before those new rules go live, the VA is legally required to use the rules that are most favorable to you. How do you secure that status? You submit an intent to file or an ITF. Think of an ITF like saving a seat for your buddy at the chow hall. It tells the VA, I'm coming back with a full claim, but mark today as my start date. From the moment you hit submit on that ITF, you have 365 days to get your evidence together. But that date, that specific day you filed, is your shield. It locks you into the 2026 rules. Don't wait until the news starts screaming about the changes in January 2027. If you wait until then, you're too late. You're at the back of the line. Put your ITF in today. Save your spot. It protects everything. Step 2 is where we get real. Mental health claims are some of the most common, but also the most misunderstood. The VA is moving toward a system that looks at functional loss. Basically, how does your condition stop you from living a normal life? They check this through 5 specific areas, or domains. When you go to a C&P exam or talk to your doctor, you have to stop the tough guy routine. If you say, I'm doing okay because you don't want to seem weak, you're going to get denied. The rater is going to write down that you're stable and deny your increase. You must document your worst day. Let's break down these 5 domains. First, thinking and memory. Can you focus on a task for an hour, or is your brain like a TV with someone else holding the remote? Do you forget appointments? If you can't keep your head in the game, that's a domain. Second, social interactions. Are you isolating? Do you avoid family gatherings because you can't stand the noise or the people? If you've lost friends because you've become difficult or distant, tell the truth. Third, task completion. Can you get through a simple to-do list? Or do you start 5 things and finish none of them because the anxiety or the depression shuts you down? Fourth, navigation and going out. Does the thought of a crowded grocery store give you a panic attack? Do you have to sit with your back to the wall in restaurants? If you are limited in where you can go, that is a functional loss. Fifth, self-care. This is the one we hate to talk about. Do you go days without showering? Do you forget to eat or take your meds? Don't give them the hardcore military version. Give them the truth of your worst day. That is how you shield your rating. Step 3 is a big one, tinnitus. Most of us have the ringing in the ears. It's the most claimed disability in the VA. Right now, it's a flat 10%, but the VA is looking to change that. They want to roll tinnitus into a larger hearing loss claim, which would make it much harder to get that 10%. To protect yourself, you need to build a bridge. A bridge means connecting your tinnitus to other conditions. Tinnitus is almost never just ringing. It's a constant stressor on your brain. That constant noise can cause or worsen other things. For example, migraines. Does that high-pitched ear ringing trigger a pounding headache that puts you in a dark room? That's a connection. Anxiety and depression. Does the ringing make it impossible to find peace? Does it keep you on edge 24/7? That's a connection. Trouble sleeping. If you can't sleep because your ears won't stop screaming, That is a direct impact on your health. When you file, don't just file for tinnitus. File for the things the tinnitus causes. By building that bridge, you're showing the total impact on your health. Step 4 is for the sleep apnea crew. If you've been issued a CPAP, you know it's a pain to wear, but it helps you breathe. The VA knows this too. Their new goal is to say, since the machine is working, you don't have a disability anymore. Here's 0%. This is where you have to perform what I call a CPAP audit. A CPAP machine is a treatment, it is not a cure. If I give a veteran a wheelchair, he can move around, but he's still paralyzed. If you use a CPAP, you might be breathing, but you likely still have residual symptoms. When you talk to your doctor, you need to be very clear about what the machine doesn't fix. Are you still exhausted? Do you still wake up with brain fog or a morning headache? Do you still experience gasping for air even with the mask on? If you tell the VA, the machine is great, I feel like a new man, you are basically asking them to take your money away. You need to document the continuous struggle. The machine is a lifeline, but the underlying condition is still there. Document it. The final step is the most technical, but it's the one that wins the fight. The Nexus letter. A nexus is simply the link between your military service and your current medical problem. Without a nexus, you have no claim. Period. Most doctors want to help, but they don't speak VA. They'll write a letter that says, it's possible his back pain is from the Marines. In the civilian world, that's a nice note. In the VA world, that's a denial. The VA needs to see the legal phrase, at least as likely as not. I don't want you to have to explain this to a doctor who is already busy. I've created a resource for you, a template that uses the exact legal language. You can take this to your doctor and say, I need you to review my records, and if you agree, use this specific format. Give them the roadmap. Don't leave your future up to a doctor's guess. We've covered strategy. We've talked about locking in your date, telling the truth about your mental health, bridging your tinnitus, auditing your sleep, and getting the right paperwork. This is your action plan. But like any plan, it's worthless if it sits on a shelf. I want you to go download that checklist. I want you to get that intent to file submitted, and I want you to keep educating yourself. I'm here to provide the intel. If this was helpful, do me a favor. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're building a community of veterans who take care of their own. Remember, I am here to help you. My goal is never to mislead, only to empower you. God bless.